So I already did number 9. Whoop. Oh, there. Number 11 on the way. We're only doing 9 through 28. I'm skipping 1 through 8 because they're lame. All right, what do we do first when we have, how do I get x by itself? 3x plus 9? No, come on now.
Subtract.
Usually you want to subtract first. If you divided by 3 first, you'd have to divide everything on the left by 3, which is more work than you would want to do. So that goes away, so we get 3x equals 3 minus 9. Then what? Right, to get rid of the 3, because 3x means 3 times x, to get rid of times 3, you divide by 3. Okay, 6 divided by negative 3 is, negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Here's something the other class forgot or didn't know. What if it had been like negative 7 divided by 3? What do we do in that case? Like if this had been like that, what would we do here? No. Still divide by 3, right?
No.
What would the answer be? Nobody knows?
2.5.
Well, no.
2.3.
Okay.
2.3.
Negative 7 thirds. So you guys forgot too. It's negative 2 1/3, but just if it doesn't divide well, you can just leave it like that. You guys remember? We did a little bit of algebra last year, didn't we? A bit? Barely? Okay, anyway, I think the last problem is kind of like that. Maybe a couple problems. Number 13. Okay, 13, I'm not going to copy it down because the first step, you don't have to show every little step. What should we do first on 13?
Combine like terms.
Right, 6z and minus 4z are on the same side, which means we can put them together like we did a couple days ago. 6z minus 4z becomes 2z, so we got 2z plus 8 equals 10. So now we got a simple problem like number 11. So we just do the thing with the thing. That's why I'm the best teacher. Because my instruction is do the thing with the thing. And followed by the next thing. All right, number 15. Copy down. Actually, maybe not copy down. What would be the first step on 15?
Distributive property.
Distributive property. What's 3 times z plus 4?
3z plus 12.
I guess I'll just write that down. So we have 5z plus 8, or minus 8, plus 3z plus 12 equals negative 36. Now what? Like terms. 5z plus 3z can go together. Negative 8 plus 12 can go together. 5z plus 3z is 8z. Negative 8, you should think of that as a negative or a minus 8. Plus 12 is 4, so plus 4. And we're back to a basic problem like number 11. Oh, new section. Okay. Solve each literal equation. I think what they mean by literal equation is
like a actual equation that describes real things. You might recognize a couple of them. For the indicated variable, f equals ma for a. What do they mean by for a? We're supposed to solve for a, which means get a by itself, so it says a equals blah, blah, blah. So, Katie?
Wasn't it like f equals m parentheses f equals m?
No. We're just trying to get a by itself. So it's kind of like if I have 10 equals 2x, how do I get x by itself? How do I solve for x? How do I solve this for x? Divide by 2, right? So on this one, how do I solve this for a? Divide by m. You guys remember doing this? This would have been 2 years ago probably. I don't think we did anything like this in algebra, or geometry. So the m's go away, you just get a equals f divided by n. It's not really a number solution, it's just
Letters.
yeah. 19 P. Maybe you guys recognize this one? I think somebody in that other class knew what it was. Anybody recognize that?
Well, I think that was 21.
Perimeter of a rectangle. 2 lengths plus 2 widths. Anyway, we're supposed to solve for W, I think, right? Yeah. How do I get W by itself? So, do I usually, you actually could divide by 2, but do I usually, on like number 11, do I get rid of the added value first, or do I get rid of the multiplied value first? Usually we get rid of the, you could divide both sides by 2, that would happen to work okay on this one, but I'm going to stick with the normal. It's supposed to be a cursive L. P minus 2L equals, that goes away. Okay, and then how do I get rid of the 2? Divide by 2, divide by 2. So, I'm just going to kind of rewrite it a little bit.
Do we have to rewrite it, or can we just?
I probably won't be that picky, yeah. So, we could stop here. Is there anything else that could be done? Actually, the book did stop here, but sometimes they don't. Not exactly, no, because both of these terms on the numerator are supposed to be divided by 2, kind of like a distributive property with division. But what we could do is split it up and divide them both by 2. So P divided by 2 minus, on that second term, the 2's would cancel out, yes. So over here we could just put an L. Okay, the book did write it like this, but I never know if they're going to split it, or sometimes they do write it the other way, so who knows. It is good to know that it works both ways. Let's just say that. Look at all the fun on 21. Anybody know what that triangle is? Delta, yeah, that's right. The only way I knew that was from like sororities and fraternities. I don't really know the Greek alphabet. Anybody know what that one is? It actually is the Jesus fish symbol, but where does it come from? Alpha. Probably because he's like the alpha and omega or something like that. I have no idea. Well, actually, I think triangle might mean
change.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what this formula represents. You could Google it probably. This little L over here has a 1 on it, which means it's different than this little L over here. But what's happening between these letters when there's nothing between the letters? Multiply. Okay, so it tells us that we're supposed to solve for delta t. So how do we get rid of these multiplied values over here? Divide. And you can divide them all at once. So you can divide by alpha L1. You don't have to know what these letters are called. You just have to move them around. Whoops. Alpha. And those L's do not cancel out because L and L1 are two different things. So that's pretty much it. That thing. Delta T equals delta L over alpha L1. All right, good. 23. 22 might cause you some grief. And I'm okay with that. 23. Hoo boy. What do you guys think? What should we do first on 23? You can do the distributed property. There is a trick that can get rid of the decimals on 23. Do you guys know what it is?
Multiply everything by 10.
Yeah. Yes. You can multiply both sides by 10 and that moves the decimal over once. The reason it works is there's really only 3 terms because of the parentheses. Anyway, if I multiply everything by 10, I can just get rid of the decimals, which just makes my life a little bit easier. Not that you have to do this. It should work both ways. Here's the tricky question. Why didn't I multiply the parentheses by 10? Inside the parentheses by 10.
Because you're going to multiply those numbers that you just
Right.
changed.
Because when I multiply this number by 10, that's going to get multiplied into that. So you really only have to multiply each term by 10. And yeah, you guys said distributive property, you're right. So we just got to multiply by 6. You guys remember 6 times 12? Okay, this is something a lot of people get wrong right here. It's minus 8x and what?
Plus 3.
Plus 32. So guess what most people, well, probably about half people put a minus 32 right there. So think of that as a negative 8 and a negative 4, positive 32. Now it looks kind of like number, I don't know, 17 maybe, I can't remember which number it was, 15. We can add the like terms together, 24 minus 8. Move. By the way, there are like 2, I think, or 3 fraction answers on the evens. Just so happens the odds don't have any fraction answers. So don't panic, I guess. It's like, you know. What's 160 divided by 16? 10.
What's the day?
Wednesday.
The date or the 17? Where am I? What's my name? 25 looks easier. What's different about 25?
There's several,
Something's different on 25 than it.
There's Y's on both sides.
Y's on both sides. What do we do when there's a Y on both sides? Or an X?
Put it all on one side.
Put it all on one side. So 3Y plus 4 equals negative 140 minus 9Y. So yeah, if you got the variable on both sides, you want to get rid of it on one side. So how could I get rid of this 3Y? I could subtract 3Y because it's added to 4. There's a problem on the evens that looks kind of like this. How could I get rid of 3Y in this case?
Divide by.
No. 3Y is still added to negative 4 basically, so you still subtract 3Y. Doesn't really matter that that's a plus or minus. You still subtract. Or how could I get rid of minus 9Y?
Plus 5
Plus 9Y. 12Y plus 4. Now it's back to basics. Once you get that taken care of. How many times does 12 go to 144? Okay, one more. What do you guys think we should do first on 27? Kind of like number 13, we can put those like terms together on the left and the right? So on the left side, I'm not going to copy that one down because I'm just going to do that in my head. 5x plus 3x can go together on the left. So we have 8x minus 30. And on the right, we can put together 2x minus 8x, negative 6x, bring down to plus 12. Now it's just like the last problem, so I could subtract 8x or add 6x to keep everything positive. Back to the basics. I got sloppy Joe there. Thank you. All right. Go try those evens.